So as I was in the bathroom, I heard a guy who had like a Nigerian accent with the Igbo Nigerian saying, "Good morning, good morning." I think somebody said something. I think that's his name. And then they got the scary guy here. So, me and my mother used to go to a Nigerian church called Synagogue Church. And before he died, he said God told him, Pastor Joshua, Prophet Joshua, Synagogue. He said God told him that whatever request you have, if you try to if you try to whatever you do in the morning, God will make it successful. And my mother's daughters got my mother arrested in the morning and killed her in the morning. We got her arrested and locked her up in a mental ward. And my mother said those have been trying to kill her to inherit money. So in 2015, as soon as that Joshua said, whatever you ask of God in the morning, God gave him a prophecy that whatever you ask of God in the morning, God will make it happen. So my mother's daughter was able to kill my mother in the morning in 2015. So since then, they always try to attack me anywhere in the morning and trying to kill me also to see if that prophecy will work. You know, so today is on December 3, 2025. It's around 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. As soon as I entered the bathroom, there were like some funny looking people, like the security just, moving funny around me. But as soon as I reached for my phone, as I was approaching the bathroom, they quickly walked away. But some of them were standing in front of the bathroom door. And while I was in the bathroom, then they brought the security guy here to stand at the door. You know, they always try to scare me in the morning. You know, and I think they may be trying to kill me in revenge. This is the World Trade Center. They'll be trying to kill me in revenge for the same Muslims or foreigners invaded the World Trade Center. So every day they terrorize me. As I come here, they terrorize me all over the New York City. They're trying to make me leave America, especially since my mother's daughters were able to kill them. My mother's daughters for Bolanian for a part of the narcotic gang. And they ended up killing my mother early in the morning. And my mother said they've been trying to kill her for years. Even when my mother came to pick me in Nigeria in 2000, she said those dogs were trying to kill her as soon as she arrived in America in 1998 with a green card apparently filed. So that's why she quickly left Pittsburgh and went to New York homeless in 1998 because that daughter wouldn't give her food. Even though she signed a affidavit of support, because when you file a green card for your relative, you have to sign an affidavit of support with the U.S. immigration that you're going to support that person and make sure they're not left destitute and they don't have to apply for government benefit. But my mother said as soon as she arrived, that Bolanle was working and she was paralegal. She was a U.S. citizen. She was born in America. And so he wouldn't give my mother food. So my mother said she would starve, and that's why my mother went and came to New York and she was in a homeless shelter. A black American woman tried to jump in the homeless. So my mother went to live with a Nigerian family she knows, and was standing out and said one of them didn't have papers. The wife of the man didn't have papers. I said my mother said that one was like kind of jealous because my mother had a green card, and I guess she shouldn't have been scared that maybe my mother living with them may bring attention of the immigration. So they said the wife told my mother she has to leave. So my mother then went to a black American woman she knows. A friend referred her to a black American woman, so she was staying with that woman, and my mother was able to become a homemaker. And she came back to Nigeria to pick me up. Yeah, she thought a green card that Bolale file covers me because I was a minor child. She told that Bolale to include me, and under the law, international law and local law, you can't separate a mother and a child. So that Bolale filed a green card for my mother and didn't file nothing for me. So when my mother brought me here, the immigration said I wasn't covered under my mother's green card and they arrested me. So I was calling that Bolale when I was in immigration prison. I would leave her messages, because I heard at that time the prison was so filled up and they were looking to release people early. So they said if your relative is a U.S. citizen, they can come and bail you out. So I called up Bolane and said, please come and bail me out. And she had a 412 number. She had a 412 number. So I would call her house phone, say, please come and help me, So I said, please come and, bail me out. And she wouldn't answer the phone. And after I came out of prison, I was eventually bailed out of prison. So I saw her and she told me, I used to hear your voicemail early in the morning. I just didn't want to answer the phone because I just didn't think it was going to be easy to bail you out like that. And I was telling her, please come and bail me out. And she didn't even visit the prison throughout the time I was there. Even my lawyer was saying, that's incredible. You haven't seen your mother's daughters in like almost 10 years and you're in immigration prison and they didn't come and visit you. None of them came to visit me in immigration prison. Only my mother. So I've told my lawyer, Ralph DiPietro, that, they're in school and they just don't want to. They say they're in school and working. So they just don't have the free period. Even if it was like, even on weekend, I was like, they're very busy. My lawyer was like, that's strange. So, this is what is going on. So they said in this country, when they notice you don't really have anybody to help you, they try to take advantage of you, kill you. So they're even using Nigerians to attack me. Because I'm a Yoruba, and that guy that was shouting good morning, in front of the bathroom is an Igbo. So the Nigeria had a bloody civil war where the Igbo were being killed because they were trying to separate, and the Yoruba and Awusa was trying to keep them as part of Nigeria. So they're inciting Igbos to insult me. Even as an Igbo woman on Instagram, and she's talking about me. She was saying, you don't want to go back to your grandmother's basement. So apparently, they want to drive me crazy. This Ricardo said they should be declaring homeless people as mentally retarded and locking them up in a mental facility. And soon the police came and burst the bathroom open when I was using the bathroom on November 14, 2025, and made up lies against me just to get me to fight them. And they were touching my genitalia. I was born a man, I'm not a woman. And they were touching my genitalia and they were just trying to provoke me to fight them. And they knocked me on the ground. And I told them, look, they said somebody says a cell phone was stolen. I said if a cell phone was stolen, bring the complainant to properly identify me, and they wouldn't bring the complainant to properly identify me. I said, because I just entered the bathroom and I didn't hear any commotion of anybody screaming that somebody just stole a cell phone. I said, I think you're all making a class. You're trying to provoke me and declare me a dangerous person that fights the police and lock me up in a mental facility, where only your family member can come and bail you out, and so my mother's daughter has a basement apartment in her house, that Bolanle. So that Bolanle was telling me if anytime I'm tired of New York, I should come to her basement apartment, but my mother told me she should come and stay in her basement or something. Yeah, but my mother told me, don't ever go to that Bolanle's house. She's moving with a killer gang, and she's looking for people to kill for money, and they finally killed my mother, locked her up in a mental ward in the early morning hours of May 20, 2015. After that, TB Joshua said, anything you want to achieve, do it in the morning, God will make it successful. So this is how they killed my mother in 2015. So there's an Igbo woman, her name is Zini, she's a nurse. I think it's Tibe, I think that's the last name. So she's on Instagram, so if you don't want to end up in the basement of your grandmother's house. So my mother, when she was alive, people used to think she was my grandmother because she had aged so much, because she had an immigration case and she was responsible for paying for my lawyer fees, housing fees, and she was earning minimum wage. So anytime my mother sees me and my mother walking in the street, people always say, oh, this is your grandchild, how old is your grandchild? My mother said, no, I'm the mother. And people were so surprised because my mother had aged. The immigration problem I was having was the age. So now they're having people make fun of me, say you don't want to end up in the basement apartment of your grandmother. So my mother used to go stay with her dad daughter Bolanle after the police kicked me and my mother out of her home in Staten Island. So that Bolanle apparently wanted my mother to leave, but my mother was saying she has nowhere to go. That's why she's staying. I said that Bolanle was trying to kill her and use her for money. Inheritance scam, life insurance policy scam and all that. And at that time, my mother was suing the police for evicting my mother wrongfully. So my mother said that Bolanle was put like counterfeit poison in her food, causing my mother to have bloody diarrhea and triggering a heart attack. And so my mother eventually fled that Pennsylvania, came to New York in 2015 and checked into a hospital, and that Bolanle showed up in the hospital like 3 days later. Even though my mother didn't tell her what hospital was in, but my mother was talking to me on the phone, and since I used to have an immigration case, so the FBI always surveils me. So I heard that when people are criminals and narcotic gangs or whatever, sometimes the FBI hires them as confidential informants. So it's possible that Bolanle works for the FBI. Also, I said, I love these people when they're working for the FBI as snitches. They get to commit more crimes and get to associate with more criminals like them. So I guess this Bolanle has been arrested in the past for using drugs or whatever. Even though she's very smart, very slick. So even I didn't know she was using drugs, but when I met her in 2000, after I arrived here from Nigeria, I hadn't seen her since 1988, and I noticed she was very, very thin. So I was like, I don't remember her being this thin. So my mother was saying, in America people like to diet. She's a young girl. So my mother finally found out in 2015 that she's been using drugs, and that's why she's been so thin. So she knows how to hide her drug use and stuff. So when the police arrested me on November 14, I guess they're just trying to declare me mentally ill and claim I'm violent, attacking the police everywhere, and lock me up in a mental facility. So when they arrested me, they misspelled my name. They made my last name my first name, my first name my last name. And I was correcting them. They told me, it doesn't matter. I said, why did you put an address, in Queens? I said, I'm homeless on the street. Why are you lying? They said, it doesn't matter. And they put the wrong phone number. So I said, this is not my phone number. My phone number is 929737525. So why do you give me a phone number that ends in 2215? They told me it doesn't matter. So based on they attacked me in the bathroom, and they were sexually abusing me. They said they sexually abused anybody they declare mentally ill. They were grabbing my genitalia, so they're looking for a cell phone, and 7 of them male. There was a woman among them. They claimed they're Spanish. I think they're Puerto Rican, but they claim they're Venezuelans, but they speak an American accent. They say once they declare you crazy in this country, they can sexually abuse you, and they hope to even kill me, and hope my mother's girls can inherit the money. So there's this Nigerian nurse. She's been on Instagram. She says she's looking for, she's, so people are asking her to go and get married, and she wouldn't mind getting married. And she's been hinting. She says she's 35. But I'm not straight. I'm gay. So I don't know why she's talking about me. And she says she's looking for someone to marry. I heard, if you marry somebody before they are killed, you inherit half of their property. So the police has been trying to kill me because I'm trying to sue the immigration for arresting me wrongfully. My mother brought me here as a child. She thought the green card Bolani filed for her covered me. But America has a law that you don't separate a mother and a child. Even if the child doesn't have a visa, you're supposed to give the child a humanitarian parole visa at the airport, and they failed to do that. They didn't give me humanitarian parole visa, and they put me in prison instead. And my case lasted 8 years till I finally got my green card. So this is what I'm going through. So please donate money to my cash app. NYC homeless. I'm not looking for marriage. I'm not looking for even a guy. In 2020 they locked up all the bathrooms for 4 years. All the train station bathrooms like this, they locked it up. And a guy took me home, so I come to the bathroom in his house. And we got to his house, he said he wants to get married right away. I'm like, okay. I said, I've just met you and this is suspicious. I'm not looking to get married. And he began raping me, punching me until I called the police to come and free me. He told me if I dare escape, he's working for the police. And the police will kill me one day, shoot me dead. And it's been happening. The police have been trying to kill me. They invaded any bathroom. So apparently the guy wanted to marry me. They intentionally locked up all the bathrooms so I could go home with them, and they will marry me and get half of my money, because they've seen I've been trying to hire a lawyer to sue for the way I was arrested. So they say inheritance scam is so rampant here in New York. Their law enforcement work with criminal gangs, and they put you on surveillance like that, and they find out you're about to get money. They try to find a way to steal it from you. They say sometimes the law enforcement, when they arrest drug dealers, they steal their drugs, steal their money, and these drug dealers will have no proof, So this is what is going on. So I believe the law enforcement may be working with all kinds of people to try to lure me to a fake marriage. And then it maybe poison me and inherit all the money, because my father is dead, my mother is dead. They say it's so easy to commit a crime against someone like me, because I have nobody that really cares about me. So they found me in their FBI surveillance that this person, the mother is dead, the father is dead. and the siblings don't like this person, so anybody can just kill this person. Maybe marry me and put the pill over my face and inherit all my money. So there's a lot of money I'm potentially worth. The immigration arrested me wrongfully. In 2000, the police kicked my mother out of her home wrongfully. In 2010, and killed my friend at Ghana in 2014. So I was helping with court papers. And also, the police they killed my mother in Bellevue Hospital, a city hospital, in 2015. So I'm potentially worth a lot of money. So I think the law enforcement is luring people to to you know, it's luring people to lure them into forced marriage, so these people can then kill me or whatever. They even divorce me afterwards and get half of the money and share it with them. Or even do much worse too and get all the money. And, and share the money with the law enforcement. They said the FBI is so corrupt and they engage in all kinds of criminality, especially if they see that you're vulnerable and nobody will fight for you. So they've been harassing me everywhere, grooming me to be sexually trafficked and put in forced marriage. So as soon as I came in, they brought a Nigerian Igbo man. He was saying good morning, good morning. As I'm using the toilet, and anytime they start saying good morning like that, they start telling me to get up the bathroom, try to start a fight with me. Because I'm trying to enter. I'll keep quiet for a while now. I'm doing something. I'm logging up to an account. I need to remember the passcode. So so I'm trying to log into my account, and I forgot my passcode, so that's why it was quite a bit. I'm trying to remember my passcode and stuff. I'm trying to so I'm trying to log into my Instagram account. I just don't know why. Normally, I don't enter my passcode into my Instagram. I have it already preset to save in my login information. I don't know why. I guess I'm using the new internet connection. I'm using the word tracing. I've never used it before. So I guess the web server from Instagram doesn't recognize me. Because I'm using a different internet server. I just don't know. It's telling me to log into my Instagram through my Facebook, and I'm getting stuck at Facebook. So this is what is going on. I'm a victim, and the International Criminal Court said forced marriage and forced labor, it's a war crime. But the U.S. said they don't want to. They're not going to be signatory. They said that they're not going to be, signatory to International Criminal Court, jurisdiction over Americans, and the local prosecutors not helping me either. So I love the potential marriage scammers and sex traffickers believe they have a safe haven because the law enforcement is encouraging them to abuse me and you know, and yeah. Yeah, so this is what is going on. I'm still trying to log into my Instagram. Just delaying me. Yeah. So this is just too much, and I'm under the FBI surveillance. With all this evidence of my mother being killed, a black American trying to help me being killed, and the FBI don't arrest nobody. That's amazing. Mm. So that's so I'm still trying to log into my Instagram. It's just taking so long though. So I pre-saved my password to my phone to log in automatically, but I'm using a different internet server. Yeah, I try to, I'm still trying to log into my Instagram. Just the first try that it's giving me all this access. Oh, finally, I think. Finally. I guess it's worth it.